I'm Amy Tulley. I'm a Year 3 teacher at R.J. Mitchell Primary in Havering in London Borough. I came across learning by questions because one of the other teachers in the school happened to come across it when she was out and about at another school, and she pitched the idea to us, and we were thinking, yeah, that's good, especially with the idea of lockdown just happened and potentially another one coming. Online learning was obviously going to be a big thing, so we thought, yeah, this is going to be good, let's go for it. The problems we had in remote learning was a lot of it children engagement. We had a lot of children not logging in, not engaging with online learning. They thought, oh, I'm at home, I'm not going to do it. LbQ, we found, tackled that because it was something new, and something new always just gets the kids instantly. So once we started putting it up on Google Classrooms, the children that were logging in regularly saw it, and then they spread the word to the others, and then they started logging in. I think what grabbed them was the fact it's not just your standard maths, English, it's reading, it's geography, it's history, it's science, so it's everything. And we were doing ancient Egyptians, and they just thought a quiz online about ancient Egyptians was so whoa. So we had a lot more engagement after we started using it. We use the results to inform our next week's planning, because when they do a quiz, it comes up with the pupil, and each individual question is colour-coded as to whether they got it right or not. And then each question as a whole class is colour-coded, so it tells you, oh, this % of the class got it right. So we use that to identify gaps in home learning. And then the next week we'd set an LbQ quiz that was more specific. If we notified gaps in addition, we then, for the next week, did something specific like 3-digit number addition or column addition or addition with exchanging. I teach Year 3, so they're 7, 8 years old, and they're right on that cusp of learning how to focus for longer periods of time. And LbQ we thought was quite good for that because it's got 25 to 30 questions per quiz. So it keeps them engaged for your longer kind of standard 10, 15 question quiz, but they don't really realise it because I think they see it more of a game, especially because each question comes up with a picture that associates with it. A lot of the trouble we had was that our lower attaining pupils can't read all that well. But you can set, even though I'm Year 3, you can set Year 1 quizzes for certain children. So we found for them that was a lot better. The benefit of them being able to retry the questions gives them that reasoning skill, thinking, why did I get it wrong? Not just, oh, it's wrong, I'll try again, but reasoning, why is that wrong? And it makes them think deeper about it in their own mind rather than me just kind of explaining and they don't understand what I'm saying. As a teacher, I think LbQ for me, it cuts planning time because everything is already there for you. Just click on your subject, the topic, there's a list you can choose from. You get to preview the questions before it. So in terms of planning, that's great. It's half an hour, 45 minutes of the day I don't have to sit and write a plan for. It cuts my time in terms of assessment because the colour-coded grids they come up instantly as the children are doing it. So I don't even have to wait until it's finished. It helps me teaching because if I want to help certain children, the other children are occupied with LbQ and I can go and focus on certain children, because where we've got special needs children, they need a lot of attention a lot of the time. Whereas if I give them LbQ, they're a lot more occupied with it and we can focus our attention on other children that might need it. So I have a few autistic children in my classroom, and LbQ with those children is brilliant. They love the colour, they love the sounds that go with it, and it's actually taught one of my autistic children that getting it wrong is okay because there is the opportunity to retry. Sometimes when they write it in a book and it's wrong, they don't see that they can just rub it out. They just see it that's permanent. Whereas it gives you the chance on LbQ to do it again straight away. And I think that teaches them that it is okay to get it wrong. It makes me feel proud of them, that they're actually learning something that's not actually a specific academic skill. It's more of a personal, growing as a person skill. We were told about LbQ from a member of SLT, and often in schools when you're told about a new thing, a lot of teachers thinking, oh, there's something new. This isn't like that. Like I said, it's so easy just to plan for a few clicks, and that's 45 minutes of your day planned and done. So it's not anything new that you've got to add to your day, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. You don't even have to set up your class. The way I do it is I click on Informed Tracker. The children put the camera on the iPad up to the QR code on the screen, do it all at once, takes them straight to the web page, done. So again, with those children with letter recognition not right, they don't have to even type in a website because they just scan the QR code and it takes them straight there. A lot of other teachers found it brilliant in the lockdown. Like I said, online learning was a big thing. Back in school, it's been used a lot more cross-curricularly. It's one of those things that we have that is probably the most broad in terms of across the curriculum. It's not something specific for maths or English or reading, which right now in the recovery curriculum are the main points, and it's not just used for that. In terms of recovery curriculum, LbQ has been great because you can set questions for children in your year group, but the questions are not in your year group. So if I'm recovering from year 2 curriculum and I teach year 3, I can set year 2 questions. I can set any year group questions for any child, all the way from year 1 to year 6. When I introduce to the children, oh, we're going to have a learning by questions session, they'll sit there like, yes, because like I said, they think of it as more of a game rather than learning, because they're like, oh, got this one right, got this one right, got this one right. So they see it more of a game, and where they can see it on the screen, I mean, I don't have it where you can show their names. I click the option where it just says pupil numbers, because then those children who aren't doing so great don't get embarrassed. But they can see it themselves, oh, I've got this one right, and they treat it almost like a race, because you can see it going along. So yeah, they get really excited, and when the notification comes up that there's 10 minutes left of your lesson, they're all like, quick! And they like do it, and they do get really excited. They love it. If you took LbQ away from me, I'd be thinking my geography and history lessons are going to get a bit more boring, because history and geography is not the easiest thing to try and liven up, but LbQ seems to do that. For other schools, I would reassure teachers that it is not just another scheme and another thing to do. It's easy. You just like a few clicks and it's ready. A few clicks, you can see the assessment grid. You can do any subject. It's even got a secondary school level. So if you teach year 6 and you've got some kind of greater depth children, you can have a go at them. It just doesn't add to your time as a teacher. My work-life balance is one of the most important things, and it doesn't contribute to that imbalance in any way. It's brought to me lively lessons, but not at a cost of my time. It gives me more time to focus on other aspects of my work rather than constantly planning and assessing. It gives me time to think about how can I improve other lessons to contribute with LbQ. So at this school, we have quite a lot of special needs children. We've got special needs heavy, but LbQ is great for that because it is so interactive and so differentiated across the board for everything. It's not just maths and English. You can set year 1 to 6 questions. It's history. You can set years 1 to 6 as well. So for our SEN kids, it's great, and it allows them to be included in the session, because sometimes special needs kids, you can't have them on the national curriculum level. But with LbQ, because of that differentiation, it allows them to sit with the other children and feel like a part of the class. As a teacher with a lot of special needs children, it can be very frustrating not being able to give those specific children the time and effort that you know they deserve, because you've got 30 other children to look after. But it's just very frustrating, and they can't access things, and then they get frustrated, and it is just really annoying that you can't give them what they really need.